Welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Wise. Last two sessions we have been discussing about the opening ideas, okay, how to play the opening. Today we are covering a very important topic. We are going to discuss what is sacrifice in chess, okay. See, when we talk about sacrifice means we give up something, right? So here in the game of chess what happens, we try to give some material but we are not giving it for free. Okay, in chess the term sacrifice means we are giving up a material either for free or a big piece is given for a smaller one, but in order to gain something more than that. So it's not a real sacrifice. So in sacrifice itself there are many types. There is a concept of real sacrifice also. Okay, but generally what we say when we discuss and when we talk about sacrifice is that we are giving up some material to get more than that. Okay, so I will be showing you some examples today based on that so that we understand what is sacrifice. Okay, now first let me tell you when a sacrifice happens, it takes place. See, let's take a look at this example. For instance, see the white pieces, they have gone a bit away from its starting point. Means what? They are more developed. Second, once the pieces go nearer to the king, we say that they are more active. Okay, when we have more active pieces, then there is a chance to make a combination. So we will be talking a lot about combination in the upcoming classes. So combination means what? There are series of force moves. Means I play a check, opponent has to do something to stop the check, then I again play a check, then again he has to stop. So this thing keeps on happening till we checkmate the opponent. So what it is? Combination is a series of forced moves. And usually it starts with a sacrifice. So the concept of sacrifice is very important in the game of chess. Let's take this example here. The white pieces are so close to the king here, near the black king. See, two knights, they are covering almost all these four squares, okay, between two knights. This knight is guarding these two squares, e5 knight is guarding d7 and f7 squares. As I told you, look at this bishop, it's attacking the f7 square. And this bishop is also attacking near the king. So white has already made a sacrifice here. Last move, white has moved his knight here when black has taken bishop into queen. And now white is looking for a way to checkmate black. The pieces are all ahead and now white gets another move, strong move, which also is a sacrifice. See, this knight wants to move and so that the bishop's path is cleared. So suppose this knight moves with a check, queen takes the knight, and now if we take bishop into pawn check, the king gets a place on d8 and the king will escape. So what white does in the game is he gives the knight up again with a check, and such a check which cannot be ignored. See, black is forced to take the knight. There is no other place to the king. So pawn captures the knight and bishop takes the pawn with the check, and see, it's a checkmate. So this is why the sacrifice concept is very important. We will be looking at some more positions now. So this is the second position. Now again here we see that the white pieces are very active. Okay, the queen is attacking near the king. Okay, on f7 and g8 squares. We see that the bishop is also adding support to the queen to attack g8 and f7 squares. The rook is controlling okay, the e file totally, and it's attacking the square near the king. It's also attacking the rook. And finally the knight on g5 is also very active. It has two places to give check from. One is e6 and other is h7. So we see that the white pieces are very active. Not only they are attacking near the king, they are ahead. Okay, and this is where we see that sense that some sacrifice, some combination will happen. Okay, the moment we sense some combination will happen, okay, we try to look at checks which are forcing things. So sacrifice is going to happen at this point. Now let's see if the queen, let's see who are the defenders. So queen can give check from f7, but the bishop is controlling that square. Same way queen can give check from g8, but knight can take g8. Then we go to the knight. We see that this knight can take h7 and it would have been a checkmate, but this knight is controlling h7. So what white noted that this knight is supporting both the squares, the g8 and the h7 squares. Means this knight is not only a defender, but it is doing more than one duty. So which is called an overloaded piece. We will be discussing all these motives in our upcoming lessons. So now what happened here? White saw that there are two ways actually to win. One, he can sacrifice the knight here for the pawn, which black has to take. The king has no place. If the knight takes the knight, now see this knight is not controlling g8 anymore. So queen g8 is checkmate. Okay, this is one first way. And in this position, incidentally, there is second way also. White can make a bigger sacrifice. He can give up the queen first. Queen g8 check. See, the king cannot take the queen because of the bishop. Knight has to take the queen. And see, knight into pawn, which has become a checkmate because bishop is guarding the f7 square and the king's e7 place is guarded by the rook. So what we noted in this position again, that this sacrifice not only is very strong, but it is also necessary because you see the black pieces. Black is also attacking here. So black was threatening to take rook e1 and then queen into f2 check. And black would have won the game. So white had to force the thing so that he can win the game. Okay, let's go to next one. This is the next position. Okay, so we see the queen is attacking the pawn on h7. Okay, which is near the king. The knight is guarding the square near the king. The rook can be easily opened if the pawn captures the pawn. So white has three pieces which are quite active. Okay. And the black king has no place to move, especially when the king has no place to move, the sacrifice check becomes very effective. So the sacrifice which we give plus the check, the combination of both is very effective. If we note and look at what black is doing, black is going to play his pawn to b3, give check with the queen. White can save the check and queen both by queen d2, but then black takes, white has to recapture and white loses the knight. So now white is about to either lose the knight directly or this check and queens will get traded. So what white did here is fascinating. He forced the moves. He played queen into pawn check. King has to take the queen. Forced, and now see, pawn takes the pawn. Check. The rook is giving a check. The king can't move to g6 or g8 because of this knight. And we see that it has become a checkmate. So let's go to the next position. Okay, here we have the next position where we see that white is down in material. Okay, so how much is down? See, queen for queen, bishop for bishop, knight for knight, and for one bishop there is a rook. Okay, plus he has an extra rook. So black is up in material. So black wants to win the game. So he played the queen here so that he is able to trade the exchange the queens and convert the game very easily. White here noted that the black king has only one place, that is the d8 square, and there is some possibilities around it. White must have seen this before coming to this position. Now see, white played queen into bishop check. He is sacrificing his queen, okay, and not letting the king run away. So now see, black is compelled to take the queen. After which we note that king has come to such a place from where it has only this square. See, e6 is guarded by the pawn, e4 pawn guards f5, g6 and g7 are guarded by this pawn. So now the bishop comes to g5. The bishop is supported by the knight and the bishop snatches away the square on e7. So it has become a checkmate. So whenever the king has less space, this concept of sacrifice and check becomes very effective. Let's go and have a look at one more position. So this is the last position now. Let's look at the pieces. So last move, black has played the queen here. It supported his bishop. The queen attacks the queen and the queen is also eyeing the h2 square. Okay. So white now came to know that of course he cannot exchange the queens. If he trades the queen, black has one extra bishop. So exchanging the queen is of no use. What white noted here is that the black king, if you see, has just one place. Okay, and if this rook is not there, the white rook can go to e8 and do checkmate. So this rook is the defender. In the absence of the rook, checkmate can happen. So white realized two things here. One, the king has less space, and he saw the defender on f8. Okay, so he must have got this move very easily. Queen takes the rook, check. He sacrifices the queen for the rook, and at the same time he is eliminating the defender, that is the rook. Now see, on e8 square he had two attacks. So white rook goes to e8, bishop is supporting it, and it has become checkmate. So what we understood from this is, when we are giving sacrifice, it looks like we are giving up a big piece, or we are giving a big piece for small, or we are giving a small piece absolutely free. Okay, but actually we are trying to checkmate the king, so we are getting much more in return. So this was all about sacrifices. We will be covering more about openings in the next sessions. Do like, share and subscribe the channel if you are enjoying the content. Thanks for your time.